Hi, welcome to Angelic Oracle. My name's Eliza and I'm going to give you a reading today. I've been thinking a lot about the inner child and through my own personal experiences I've realised that there are parts of us that need to be heard in order for us to move forward in our journey. So my reading is going to be centred around that, and I do have a lovely deck, The Inner Child Oracle by Amanda Lynn Ayling, and I'm going to start with pulling one of those cards. Thank you for joining me. I want to take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and this will be a collective reading for those that feel as though their inner child is speaking to them. The first card is 33. Speak to yourself with kindness. Become aware of how you speak to yourself. Self-talk is really important. It's the language we have inside ourselves, and everything that we say is like a spell. If we believe something to be true internally, it will externally manifest as like a mirror in front of us. And sometimes I don't think we realise how hard we are on ourselves at times. And so I think it's really important, and obviously a message from Spirit, to remind ourselves to speak kindly, not only to others, but really this card is telling us to be kind to ourselves. It's really quite pretty artwork on here. So our first card out. The theme is being kind to ourselves. And in being kind to ourselves, we find that we'll be on a healing journey, and we might not be able to bring everybody with us on that healing journey. It's very important. To make sure that we can be kind to ourselves when we have to let people go, when they're no longer serving our greatest good. And that doesn't mean that we're using people, it just means that we have to be kind to ourselves in knowing that we've done enough, and it's also time to move forward from certain ways of being, or people, places and things. This is from the Healing Spirit deck by Gordon Smith. It says, your soul will find those you are meant to experience life with. Okay, so that's exactly what I was saying. Sometimes we really have to let Spirit guide us, and our inner self guide us to find those we are meant to experience life with. And sadly, sometimes we meet people and we think it's them, or we have a sense of familiarity with them, and sometimes it isn't a familiarity of that person. It's a comfort from perhaps a wound, and so we have to be very careful to listen to ourselves, to speak to ourselves kindly and say, is this something that is familiar to me, because it bonds me to an old way of being. And we have to trust that we will find those that we are meant to experience life with. And sometimes it's sad to have to let people go, and sometimes the universe will pull them away. Mending, you see, and sometimes, again, it's healing, isn't it? It's about mending and healing. And if you notice there in this card, there's a smaller person mending what seems to be a bunting with an older person, perhaps mother and child. And that could be the inner child, couldn't it? You know, so all in the same theme of the inner child here and the necessary need for healing. And obviously, you know, mending patterns in us that are holding us back or keeping us stuck and preventing us ultimately from finding those that we are meant to experience a life with. I think I'll take another one from this. This is Wisdom of the Oracle. I really do love these cards, and this is the miniature version. I'm going to be travelling. I've bought some smaller decks I want to take with me. Thank you guys for coming to my channel. This is my first video. I have been reading for quite some time, but I've decided to bring my gifts to the light and decide to go on a healing journey myself and hopefully be able to help others. Loyal heart. You see, this card obviously also has what I can see as the wiser owl, two wise owls. And when it comes to healing, having people alongside you that can join you on your healing journey and can maybe shed some light on their story, which sometimes we can resonate with, and really empathize or sympathize or even learn something new about ourselves and our friends that we didn't know was inside us. And that helps us heal when we speak to others, and those especially who are loyal and that we can trust. It's really nice to be able to share that and have a healing journey with others. It's a lovely message. I've got a sense lately that I have my angels and ancestors are around me, and if someone would have told me, you know, 10 years ago you're going to be speaking to your ancestors, I think my inner child would have said, oh, I don't think so. But as I grow, I realise that we all have somewhere inside of us that is part of our DNA genome of ancestors. I mean, you can't deny that. So they have to exist in us, and if they exist in us in our DNA, what's to say that their thoughts, feelings and gifts you know, don't exist in that way? So I've been tapping into my gifts, which I think is guided by my ancestors, and this is the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray, and it's really sweet. Again, another small deck, but yeah, I think ancestors play a lot of a role about who our inner child is and who we are, where we've come from. Oh, lovely. You see? Oh, there's two here. Okay, we've got Earth Mother, which is feel loved and comforted. So as I said, I think it's really important that when we're on a journey that we have someone that we feel loved and comforted by, that we can really maybe share our story with and hear their story. But we should also know that Mother Earth is always there to love and comfort us. And if we do get lost, go outside in nature. You know, go outside and enjoy the happy, the sun, the things that make you smile, breathing in the air, the oxygen, the trees. It's all Mother Earth. It's all relevant. And when we get lost with our inner child, go back to nature. You know, go back to what nature wants from us. And that's to nurture ourselves, because nothing in nature can grow if it doesn't have, you know, nurture and the right, you know, environment. And you have to really plant your seeds in a proper environment. And if we're not digging around in our inner child to figure out, is our soil fertile? Why isn't anything growing? Well, then it's time to dig in, isn't it? And kind of be the mother to our own inner child and go inside and do some shadow work, really. And the other card that came out on this is Sage. Be devoted and committed. And that again is also, we have to be devoted and committed to growth and finding out, who we are, where we're going, what we really want from life. And the wise old sage isn't just born, it's part of us that is grown from the inner child upwards. You don't just become an old person. You're every year inside that you've been. You've been a baby, you've been 1, you've been 2, you've been 3. You don't not be those people anymore. Those parts of you, those inner children, those inner teens, they become the sage. You grow into this. You aren't just it. And I think our journey, and an important thing to realise about the inner child journey, is you have to ask questions and be your own sage. Because if you want to seek outside sources and go and speak to somebody, mentors, that's fantastic. But you also have to be your own sage. It's really important to know thyself. That helps you level up. I love that. Okay, I'm going to go to my animal spirit, because as I said, when we go... Oh, we've flushed on already. When we go into nature, and we're talking about nature, and we get lost, and perhaps we're not sure who we should be or what our authentic self is, let's go back to the nature side of things. And of course, out would be the unicorn card, the anomaly of not nature, apparently, but I'm sure they existed. You see, they wouldn't be spoken about if they were never a thing. So it says, infinite possibilities. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. Wow. And if you look at this card, it's again 2-piece, the inner child and the outer adult version of ourselves, or whatever age we are today. I still see myself as quite young. And if you look at the butterflies, no butterfly is just becoming a butterfly. It's been a caterpillar. It's been, is the caterpillar the inner child of the butterfly? Perhaps. But one can't be without the other. And it goes into a cocoon, and we don't know what the caterpillar thinks when it enters that cocoon. We don't know when it goes to delve into the shadow work of the cocoon. Does it believe it's coming out ever again? Does it think this is it? But it does. And I think it's really important to recognise that there is always a butterfly after the caterpillar, but we have to go through the transformation stage. And I would believe that would be the inner work. The shadow work. Oh, that's really pretty card. So I'm going to go to my Light Seers Tarot. Really one of my favourite decks. I want to kind of get an overall energy for how we can move forward, or things that might be sort of in the way of you healing. Maybe some of you are healing. Maybe some of you are already on this journey and this is what's drawn you to this video. Everything happens for a reason. We always stumble across the message if it's meant for us. So let's see what Tarot has to say. Angel, spirits, guides. What can we guide the collective about their inner child? Okay, one card out. the moon. This particular moon card, again, I think it's really prevalent because, as we can see, sometimes we're lost under our own deception. The moon signifies deception at times, and there really is only her there under the water. And we've got to realise, maybe the illusion is that you're drowning. Maybe the illusion is that you can't seem to find your way up and out. But the moon is very bright and it's guiding you there. And as you can see, you've got the white wolf and the dark wolf, and they're howling at the moon. And so you can't escape the fact that you are both light and dark. It is that. Don't be under the illusion that you can't escape. Don't be under the illusion that the inner child is so far buried that you can't get out. There's no way forward. That's not true. That's not true. The light of the moon is very bright. And you have to embrace the fact that you are both light and dark. And that's half the way out of the shadow work, is to understand that transmuting that is the only way. It's there. They're both there. And so it's perception, isn't it? So don't be deceived by perception and sometimes self-limiting perceptions. Let's get another one from... Okay. So I've got a couple have come out here. I like this. I've got the Strength card. Again, lamb signifying for me inner child. Again, looking at her face, yin and yang, dark and light, transmuting that. There's a clear message that light and dark and the inner child need to come together in order to really grow and to come into your authentic self. So we need strength. So the message from Spirit is, don't be under any illusions. You do have the strength. You do. You absolutely do. And we've got the Page of Wands in reverse. Now, the Page of Wands in reverse, I don't think you're really letting your free spirit reign here. Perhaps you're holding back. Perhaps your inner child doesn't feel very expressive, because in the upright position of this card, this Page of Wands is a free spirit, is throwing their wand in the air and just living life. But perhaps in the reverse, you're frightened to do that. And so perhaps Spirit is saying to you, don't be frightened to do that. Don't be under the illusion that you can't. You've got that strength. You do. So, let's see. And you've got the Star card. So you do have dreams and goals, and we all do. And if you don't, I suggest you get yourself a journal and start writing down what your wishes and goals are, because the universe cannot give you anything if you don't know what it is. So perhaps sitting down with your inner child and saying what we don't like, what we do like, and making a list of things that you want to create in your world, in your authentic, grown, adult world. You don't have to be trapped. It doesn't have to be a pipe dream. In this picture, it's coming right from the heart out into the stars. It's not impossible. It's really not. It's just, you can do this. It's not out of reach. And then look, this is lovely. Here, counterparts, King and Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, very, very intuitive, very in touch with her spiritual gifts. She knows how to use her wand. She knows how to use her fire. And again, even if it's not, you know, an external male and female counterpart. It's the internal masculine, the internal feminine, you know, of your intuitive selves. You know, and you're always going to have, you know, the lion back here is depicted as sometimes our darkness also, but also our strengths. You know, you have to have dark to have light. You have to have, you know, king to have queen. And that doesn't, as I said, it doesn't mean in life, you know, in the physical sense. And it might be that you're finding your counterpart, or you found your counterpart, and that's next on the journey from you. But without healing the wounds from your inner self or the inner child, you're going to bring them in. So really important to balance your masculine and feminine energies, and they're clearly sources saying that they're coming together, and that will be because that's what's necessary to work on healing the inner self, the inner child, and becoming our higher self, is balancing both those energies. I love that message from Spirit. I'm going to pull one more card. This is the Healing Waters Oracle, and they are by Rebecca Campbell. Really lovely cards again. And Angel Spirits Guides, thank you for being with us today and joining me on my first ever reading in the journey. And I'd like to thank you all for coming with me also and beginning this journey with me today. And I hope to be able to... Oh. Alright. So it says, hold the oracle to the earth and whisper, I call upon the sacred healing waters of the earth. Please activate this oracle with ancient wisdom, guidance and healing. Let it deliver clear messages and reflections that are of the highest and deepest benefit for humanity and the earth. Okay. Right, and so it is. So let me put into the cards. Okay, let me shuffle again. I think it's important to understand that none of us have the real answers. Externally, there's no real books, there's nothing we can do, go on a great journey of reading and down the rabbit holes, but ultimately the answers are within. You're going to find them within, and sitting in still is really going to be where you find those. And so here we have, oh, and it's perfect. Absolutely love it. So the first card out is, they're very similar, it's beautiful. Let it go, release the past, forgive, soften, move forward. So again, this is about letting go of the past, releasing what no longer serves us, and that means we have to identify it. Because if we don't know, we don't know. And you can't fix what we don't know. So sit down, go into still, find out what you need to release. And then cleansing again, releasing the old, energetic tune up. And there you go, is new beginnings. So I think the message is clear. Cleanse. Cleanse the things that don't work for you anymore. Even the emotions that don't work for you anymore. Or you might get angry about something, or you might get sad about something. Don't attach yourself to it. Let it flow through you like the healing waters. Some things aren't supposed to stay. They come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And being an adult is recognizing that. Our inner child wants to keep hold of everything, cries when it loses a toy. But we're not children, and that part of us can stay. But if it's holding us back and preventing us from moving forward, I think we need to release what no longer serves us. I think we need to cleanse, and I think we're all really entitled to that new beginning. Bless you guys. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think. And I'll be running some giveaways. So drop your name and star sign, and if you're first, we'll do the star sign readings, and we'll begin with your sign, and I will gift you a free reading. First in the comments. Thank you guys so much. I'm really looking forward to this journey, and I hope you'll continue to join me.